Good evening, everyone. So I'm currently just working on the checking of the reflective essay of students. So first, and then second, this one, I'm logging. Um, Other than, well, it's not really the best time to check my students' reflective essay online now because the system is down. Our internet is quite slow. But I actually have two options for internet. So I'm using the service internet, or well, I can also use my 4G. It seems like even the 4G is kind of slow. So what I'm trying to do now is just trying to be patient. Alright, so we just had dinner with my wife at Friday weekend. So we also had two vlogs at Harrison. So the plan is really this is the best time to upload the vlog. So normally I do upload my vlogs in the Far Eastern University. I think by far the fastest internet in Metro Manila is actually in Far Eastern University. Best place to vlog blogging is in Far Eastern University Library. So there are two things. First, I will just have to check that since internet is quite slow, so we will just have to try to be patient. And a while ago, shared to you, I shared on my Facebook, in my blog, there's this Japanese technique for overcoming laziness. And just to simplify, the the blog was very simple. It was teaching us that there's this for us Filipinos. No? Well, not only Filipinos, practically most of us would tend to procrastinate because if you tend to do certain tasks slowly, and at times on the process of working on the task you would be thinking of just maybe leave the task and then you'd rather maybe play or maybe sleep rather than do the work. So Japanese would have this 1 minute technique. They use 1 minute technique always. In anything that they do, they think that they only have 1 minute to accomplish. No? So Japanese would use a 1 minute technique in any task. So 1 minute to accomplish any task, be it paperwork, be it household chores, or even more so in the paperwork. So they will have to set a very minimal timeline, which is 1 minute. So that's why I'm trying to apply it in 1 minute. So I will have to finish checking, let's say, 10. 1 minute, 10 reflective essays. So in 1 minute, I'll have to finish 10, read fast, and then grade. So I think that that technique could work. No? So I will not sleep now, not unless I'll be spending at least 5 to 10 minutes. So in 5 to 10 minutes, how many essays or reflective essays would I be able to check, right? So I think that 1 minute technique can be effective. And then after this, okay. So my initial thoughts about the Emperor of Lies. So this is Sandberg's The Emperor of Lies. So this is my current novel that I'm reading. So perhaps because of the lot of paperwork in school, so the target is perhaps I'd be finished reading this. This is a very serious novel. This is kind of heavy material to read, so perhaps I'm giving it around 2 to 3 weeks because I also have other tasks to do. So maybe this one, maybe at least 1 minute, perhaps 5 pages, 5 to 10 pages per week. So my initial thoughts on this, when I was reading The Emperor of Lies, the synopsis at the back, basically this was the atmosphere. This was during 1940, during the Nazi time. So in terms of the setting, the setting was in Poland, where the Nazis actually dominated the place, invaded the place, and then controlled um, the Jewish people, and that the ghetto is supposed to be a slum areas full of uh, Jewish people. So this is one destination where this is in preparation for them, for this for them to be sent to concentration camps. Now, talking about concentration camps, that's actually where they kill people. They they simply kill them like animals. They put it in a chamber and even burn them. So this place is actually a preparation. Now they are having this ghetto in Poland because in terms of logistics, they wouldn't be able to just burn them once. So they need to somehow burn them uh, in an installment basis. Now during this time, there was this leader of this ghetto, the Jewish people. His name was uh, his name is so I can't really read because of the Rombowski. And then they call him. That's actually the leader. He's like the king. He's like the king of the Jewish people at that time. So based on the synopsis, I can already predict that somehow he is playing a very powerful role. You know, he is a Jewish person. He's a native uh, Jewish individual, but then he also somehow plays a dual role. So whether is he a traitor to the Jewish people or he is actually helping them in disguise. So I think that is where the twists would be manifested. So when I was reading this, my initial thoughts would be how different would this book how different would this book be compared to uh, the Diary of Anne Frank? Well, perhaps not really comparable, but still, this was during that time where uh, Jewish people were just executed, killed, in burned in concentration camps. But here, I think this is a stage where, from that point, they will be sent. So I think the dynamics would be quite different because in terms of that feeling of hopelessness, I think the more hopelessness was experienced uh, by Anne Frank because it's actually the last stage. You know? She was hiding somewhere, I think in the concentration camp, somewhere she was hiding somewhere there. But here, this is quite, I think the preparation. Ghetto is a place in Poland where it's like they will have to be prepared. They will just have to, it's like a waiting period. They'll have to wait, considering that it would also cost the Nazis much if they will be sent just once, no? One sending. I think it wasn't feasible at that time, so they need to send them uh, by installment basis, no? In certain groups. So my expectation, this is bloody. This is really a stressful read, no? But well, talking about the killings that are happening now. So perhaps this can shed light to all the violence, all the non I would say the crave for power and the unexplained, illogical. For me, it's illogical to kill people, but for others, they might think that it's logical to sacrifice lives. But in this case, we will have to see how the plot develops. I'm already expecting that this is really a very dramatic novel. More killings and even I think very stressful. No? Stressful, and this is not entertaining. This is quite very serious. It's more of an inspirational novel in times like this, where, for example, in the Philippines, we're experiencing a lot of sacrifices of lives, even in Metro Manila or other places in the Philippines, where lives will have to be sacrificed in the battle against the drug war. So in this case, we will have to see the importance of the plot of this novel to our current situation. Talking about killing, talking about power control, talking about corruption. So, thank you for always tuning in to my blog. I'm happy that my wife is here. She is staying here for the conference. So she visited Manila for a conference, and I'm happy that she's here with me. We just had dinner a while ago. Um, so we still have 2 more days because the seminar would start Tuesday. So we still have Sunday, then we still have Monday. It's a holiday, and then she'll be home by Thursday. So thank you. Please don't forget to always click Bilinguistics 101.blogspot.com. So thank you. Bye.